morning, boys and girls. For today's Read Aloud, we will be doing reading Flat Stanley. So what I'm going to do, since this is a small chapter book, I'm going to read you one chapter every day. And then I'll also read a picture book. But for today, this will count as the Read Aloud. Flat Stanley, Ready for Adventure. Created by Jeff Brown. Written by Kate Egan. Pictures by Mackie Pamintuan. Stanley Lambchop and his younger brother Arthur were sitting on the couch at home. Arthur held a world map open on his lap and a pencil in his hand. "How about here," he said, twirling the pencil in the air and then poking the map with the eraser. Stanley looked at the spot. He shook his head. "I don't think so," he said. "That place is in the middle of the ocean." Arthur looked down at the map and sighed. "Okay then," he said. "How about..." He twirled the pencil and poked the map again. "Here." Stanley smiled. "That's Canada," he told Arthur. "We've been there before, remember?" The brothers were trying to pick a place to go for a family trip, but they were having a hard time. In most families, Stanley knew, the kids did not get to choose where the family went on vacation. But his family was not like most families. That was because Stanley was not like most kids. Stanley, in fact, was one of a kind. One day, a bulletin board had fallen off his bedroom wall and left him flat as a piece of paper. This made some things hard for Stanley, he had to admit. Sometimes clothes did not fit him, and he had to make sure he did not blow away on a windy day. But being flat had also made him famous, and because he was famous, the Lambchops had traveled all over the world. And this is a picture of Flat Stanley. Oh my goodness, can you imagine being flat? I feel like I want to do a Flat Stanley project. That'd be so fun. "Oh," said Arthur, "I'd like to go swimming too. I would also like to ride a roller coaster." "Good," Stanley said, taking notes. "I would like to climb a mountain." Arthur added, "I would like to eat the world's best ice cream." The brothers continued going back and forth, listing their ideas. Stanley wanted to scuba dive. Arthur wanted to see a circus. Stanley wanted to stay at a big hotel. Arthur wanted to buy a funny t-shirt. Stanley kept writing in his notebook, and the list just grew and grew and grew, until he had 2 pages of ideas. That was when he realized something. "I think we have a problem," he told his brother. "What if there isn't a place where we can do all of these things?" Arthur sank back into the couch pillows. "Do we have to start all over?" he said. Stanley got up and walked around the living room. He stood in front of a bookshelf and looked for ideas. His family did not have any books about great vacations, or at least not about great vacations they could take in the future. They did have books about great vacations they had taken in the past. The family photo albums were right in the middle of the bookshelf. Stanley had an idea. "I think we should make another list," he told his brother. "Not again," Arthur complained. "Not the same kind of list," Stanley promised. "Let's look through our old pictures and make a list of the best parts of all those trips. Whatever worked well before will help us figure out what to do next." He handed Arthur a thick photo album. "Ready for a trip down memory lane?" And that's the end of chapter 1.